Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you all so much for the love and support on that last video. That is by far the most views that we've ever gotten on the channel, so super exciting to see. Hopefully this month does just as well, but if you're watching this video, please share a comment below. My wife and I would love that and love to respond to all your comments. So nevertheless, let's go ahead and jump into July 2024. It was a pretty interesting month, honestly. Made a lot of very strategic moves. And so in March of this year, I did not ever announce it on the channel, but I started taking real estate classes way back in 2012. And then again, I think in 2014, I attempted to get my real estate broker's license to buy and sell real estate. To be transparent, I failed the class twice. I was going through school and I was working full time, just wasn't taking it seriously. So March, you probably remember me saying, I'm wondering what else I can do for income. I can't work more than 40 hours a week. I don't get paid for it at my work. We're trying to sell firewood. We're trying to, do some other stuff. If I Uber drive or something like that, I get taxed pretty heavily on it. And so in March, I had an idea of, maybe I'll attempt to get my real estate license again. So March 26th, I started studying for that, just on my way up to work and back. And I have about a 2-hour commute to work. And so for about 3 months, I listened to YouTube videos, listened to some books, and then took the test. And around July 15th, I took the national and state tests. And yeah, excited to say that I passed both of those tests. So I am now officially a licensed real estate agent. At this point, I'm not assigned to a brokerage yet, so I need to go find a firm to work for. And I'm pretty sure I have found the one. I've got another meeting this Friday to talk with them, but I will most likely hang my license with that real estate firm and then start buying and selling, or helping people buy and sell real estate on the side. So yeah, that'll be a nice source of income. And then I think long term, I will probably step back away from the pharmaceutical industry that I work in right now, and then do the real estate agent full time, depending how it goes. So I'll give it a couple years and see how things happen. But yeah, exciting news. So July, pretty boring month, honestly, overall for income. Just 2 base paychecks for me, no bonuses, so $13,403. I got taxed almost 3,200. I put the same amount in my 401k, this 804. We're still maxing out the HSA, so that was 633. I paid 345 in insurance and then took home the exact same as last month, 8,400-ish. For my wife, she made 2 paychecks in July, and her classes are about over at this point, so she probably won't get paid again until September, I'm assuming. But she made a little over 1,000, paid almost 200 in taxes, and then took home 856. For rentals, rentals are doing really well. We've been having the conversation whether or not we want to increase rent. One of the houses, the lease is coming up in, I think it's September. And so at first we were deciding we were going to increase the rent. Taxes and insurance, sorry about that. Taxes and insurance have pretty much stayed the exact same as what they've been for the past year. So I think we're back to not going to increase the rent. And that was specifically, one of them was rented at 1175 a month. We were going to increase that one to maybe 1250 or 1275, but I think we've decided against it. So we're probably going to rent these out for another year at the same amount that they're currently rented for now. And again, we've not had any turnover on these in 4 or 5 years, I guess, all the way back here. We bought this first one in December 2019 and then bought the second one here in September 2020. And the same tenants that moved in these 2 months are the same tenants that live there today. So it's been almost 5 years, it looks like. Yeah, so that's how rental properties are going. No major expenses this month. I had a couple small things that popped up, but it was like I needed to swing by the hardware store, spend $5, go there and fix it myself. And so really no major expenses with the rental property since I've been doing most of the work myself there. Gross income for the month, 17,000. Take home pay was almost 12,000. So jumping into net worth, nothing crazy with any of the houses. They're just doing their thing, increasing in value. Something I should think about though, I will probably keep these values the same. I usually put them at 90% of like what Zillow says roughly, is kind of what I shoot for. And I do 90% because I was going to pay 5 or 6% to a realtor if I sold these, and then probably 5% just for a margin of safety. So maybe I could value these a little bit higher. Um, now that I have my real estate license, if I were to sell any of these properties, I would obviously just represent myself, and I would not have to pay a commission. So realistically, house number 5 is probably 220, maybe 230, and then house number 7 is probably 210, 215. The house my wife and I live in is very difficult to value. We probably got our first comp ever in our township that we live in. It sold for 1.3 million, and I think we'd be probably somewhere around there realistically. Our house is maybe 6,500 square feet, and it's on 66 acres. It's a brand new house that we built about a year ago now. And so we had a good comp that came up for sale, and it did end up selling at 1.3 million. So we've currently have this house valued at 1.16 million. So we're maybe missing 150,000 here. But again, this is just a guess. So it's somewhere in that 1.16 or 1.3 million dollar range. Cars, no changes at all with them. There will be a change coming up for miscellaneous. This is like a trailer, it is a mower, and there is a four-wheeler in this. And so the four-wheeler, I think we are going to sell here in a couple days. I have the opportunity to buy a Polaris Ranger side by side, a used one, for a really, really good deal. It should be like $6,500. And so I think we'll sell the four-wheeler, and we should be able to get 5 or 6 thousand out of that, and put that money towards the Polaris Ranger. So yeah, there should be some changes with that, but I will probably work on that this weekend. So that'll be exciting. That'll help me with firewood a lot more and just provide a lot more utility than what the four-wheeler does. But it's been good. Investment wise, investments were up. Just in general, S&P was up about 1.1% this month. Our portfolio was up about 1.6, so just beating S&P 500. I feel like my timing, I did make a trade back here in June. I sold my growth stock that I had like 90% of my 401k in. I feel like that was really good timing. Nvidia went down a lot since then, and I still just have it sitting in 5.25% money market funds. So those are doing fine. It took a lot of the volatility away, but if we have them, I'll probably just leave it in there for a couple months. If we have a market correction, then I will definitely go back into growth funds once we have the correction. But HSA went up about $500, so we're at $68,332. For my 401k, I ended up putting about 1,400 in my 401k this month, but was up about 6,000 in there, so we're almost to 270,000. Then for my wife's 403b, we're not contributing to this anymore since she does not work at a corporation that she can contribute. So these are just accounts that are sitting there and just moving with the market, no contributions. She was up $4,000 to 238,000. So in general, our whole portfolio of stocks was up about 11,000, up to $575,149. For debts, we paid off about $4,000 in debts this month. We made minimum payments on house number 5 and house number 7. Those are both at 3%. Those are the two rental properties. House number 8 and land number 8, we're paying minimum payments on land number 8 because it's a 3.7% on a 15-year. So it's still not very high interest. So these are not really a huge concern to mine. The biggest concern we have is house number 8. This has been our goal for probably the past year, is to pay off house number 8 as fast as we can. It's probably going to end up taking us about 4 years is what we're tracking to. So if we look back a few months, we started with a loan of like 700, almost 700,000. So and that was in June of last year, and now we're in July of 2024, and so we've paid off about 260,000 on that so far. When I did the predictions and the estimate, month by month estimate, which I guess we can look at in this spreadsheet here, this is just an amortization schedule. I did it very like a steady pace, like $5,000 a month, $5,000 a month. This was also before my wife left her job and went part-time. And so we aren't really hitting these 5,000 a month. But what it's turning out to be, it's a little bit more variable than like a steady payoff. So we are, like, right now we're spending a lot of money on our property. We're in a natural conservation program, and they pay us to take care of like invasive species on the property. So we're paying somebody else to do that work for us. So that's costing maybe 2,000 or 3,000 a month. But maybe next month or September, we should get a check for about 14,000. Yeah, just over 14,000 next month. So It's kind of a give and take. One month we'll put 14,000 towards it. One month we're struggling just to, make the minimum, not struggling to make the minimum payment, but we can't put anything extra towards it, and we have to stay at our $40,000 in cash. So this month we did have to pay the invasive species people probably $2,000. We still were able to save 1,675. So we put that 1,675 towards house number 8. So it is now down to 424,939. Hopefully next month or September, we will throw that 14,000 towards it. I should get another bonus in March. Any of the real estate that I sell for a commission, that will immediately go to pay off house number 8. If I do make any commissions, so we'll see how that goes. But hopefully with doing the real estate on the side, that'll help us, start knocking out house number 8 quite a bit faster. Last few things here, checkings account still just at 40,000. Again, anything over 40,000 we just put towards house number 8 right now. 40,000 is probably 6 to 9 months worth of savings for us, and so a nice emergency fund. Rental accounts are going really well. I saved about $700 this month, which is probably about a perfect month at this point. It If we have some major expenses, it'll probably be down to 200 or 300, as you saw a couple months ago. This 23.7 to 23.9. With no expenses, we should be able to save about $700. So there was a few things I had to pay for, but again, like probably less than $20. So pretty much a perfect month for the rental properties. I should probably knock on wood or something, but that's pretty rare. So yeah, we're almost at 25,000 in the rental checkings account, that's another new record as well. We've been at 22 or 23,000 for a while, but we've never hit 24,600. So that's the most we've ever had save. But at the end of July here, our net worth is sitting at 1,519,000, which is about an $18,000 increase from last month, which just happens to be the same our savings goal pace. So our goal is to have $4 million by 40 years old, and so we are currently $470,000 ahead of that goal pace. So this month the goal was to save about 16,000. We ended up saving about 18,000, so we were a little bit ahead of that normal goal pace. But at this point, a lot of this is dependent on the stock market. With 575,000 sitting in stocks, if we go down 4 or 5%, we're definitely going to have a red month, pretty much no matter how much income that we make. So overall, July was a really good month, sitting at 1,519,000, $18,000 increase compared to last month, and again $470,000 ahead of our goal pace of having 4 million by 40 years old. So yeah, some exciting things happening this month. I feel like finance is kind of like a game of chess. You're just moving your pieces in place, and you're trying to predict, 3, 4, 5 moves ahead if you can. So yeah, I feel like my pieces are sitting in a pretty good place. It's nice that I got the real estate license this month, so that's just another source of value and things that I can provide to the market and make income for me and my family. So hopefully next month when I update here, I've sold 20 houses and house number 8 would be paid off. I doubt that will happen, but yeah, so it's exciting that I've got something to look forward to, a whole new industry that I can look into, do research on, and yeah, and figure out how it works. So thank you all for watching the video. Next month's videos are on the screen now. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, things that you'd like to see in future videos, just comment them down below. Thanks everybody, and we'll see you in the next video.